Today we'll talk about the teaching of speaking skills. Within this skill, in the beginning we'll talk about various elements that make speaking. Speaking may roughly be defined as a process of constructing meaning within a context. It focuses on students' ability to convey something coherently, orally, fluently, within a certain context, to convey both transactional and interactional purposes. If we look at the teaching of foreign or second languages, we'll come to know that teaching is one of the most demanding skills, because this could apparently be the obvious measure of one's success in second language learning. One of the problems with speaking is that it needs to have an interaction with somebody. So speaking is primarily interactive. One of the major indicators or essentials of good L2 speaking include pronunciation. The way people speak a typical or a target language. It involves the phonological variations of the language while performing certain communicative tasks. Grammar is also important because it includes students' ability to arrange various words or elements of a language in order to convey certain meanings. It also involves students' experiment with various structures of the language. Vocabulary is also very important because this involves the choice of diction by the student to convey certain meanings. And we could easily understand that the lack of vocabulary could possibly be a bigger hurdle in learning a second language. Fluent speech might involve some reduced speech forms, contractions, reductions, in order to make the speech more convenient and fluent. Stress, rhythm, and intonation are also important, and more importantly, pragmatic and discourse knowledge of the language is also important. It includes how various genres of a language could be exploited in order to convey a certain message in a target language. Similarly, it also involves the ability to evolve one's own conversational strategies and conversational repair strategies. If a strategy is failed, how to repair it, how to construct a new strategy, or what should be done in order to avoid the breakdown of communication. There are various speaking events which are involved in the speaking teaching, and when you want to teach somebody to learn a second language fluently, you need to focus on these speaking events. Among these events, we could see there are transactional purposes of communication. This involves conveying information to perform certain exchanges in form of business or goods. And then we have interpersonal functions, which involves building up relationships in social communication. And this is probably one of the primary functions of any language. Overall, these speech events or communicative events could be interactive when we interact with somebody verbally. For example, when we went to buy something on a shop or a newspaper at a kiosk, we have to interact with the shopkeeper, and this is very much interactive. Then we have non-interactive exchanges as well. For example, leaving a message for somebody on telephone when he or she is not listening to it. Then these speech events could be planned, such as lecture or a wedding speech. Could be unplanned. For example, we meet somebody accidentally on a road or surprisingly on a road, and we start having a discussion with that person. So discussions in some such situations are usually unplanned. There are some more genres we can look into. Narrative. This includes everyday anecdotes by a person, especially about himself or herself. Then identifying involves extracts in which people talk about themselves, more importantly. Then language in action. We construct certain meanings when we are performing certain social actions like cooking, parking, etc. Then comment elaboration. This involves some casual information about some events or things which happen to be around us, and we like to have comment about them. Then debate and argument. This includes data in which people take their positions. They have an argument to convince or persuade people about it. And they pursue their arguments with some zeal. We also have some decision making and negotiating outcomes oriented speech as well, in which people take a position, clear position, because they have to negotiate certain meanings and reach a conclusion. So these are some of the important functions and events which we could learn and teach in a speaking skills classroom.